Evil Superman is scary. Well, we're gonna be reviewing The Incredibles. The Incredibles 2, to be exact, because there's 2 of them now, not just one.
Do I need to turn the sound down?
Oh, please don't.
I'm gonna turn the sound down.
Oh, well. Starting off, I don't know what this is, but it's really good. This is a children's movie, so I would be comfortable seeing this with my parents and or with kids. Do you concur?
Well, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Bum bum bum, ba-dum ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man, "Run
Sick.
yourself."
These last few pieces, they're just really hard to get on your
Oh my
fork.
goodness.
Ah, there we
You want to start off with your score of the movie? Like what you... We're doing general scores, right?
go. Manners maketh man.
Strong movie.
It's a good one, though. Quality-wise, I'd give this a solid 9 out of 10, and enjoyment, I give it 8. I enjoyed it a lot more than a lot of movies I've seen. It wasn't quite up there as much as some.
It's definitely one of the better movies we've seen this summer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna... I gave it an 8.5 movie quality, and I gave it an 8 on personal enjoyment. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it's a well-made film.
Button mash,
And
I don't know.
I did see it twice. And when I came out the second time, I still liked it. I really did. I really enjoyed it. Great film. But I just... I don't know. I don't know. When you already know the jokes are coming. The jokes were still hilarious. That's one thing about this movie. The jokes are so funny in this movie.
How did you do that?
With all due respect,
Yes.
you both are wrong. It's a 15 out of 15.
That's not the scale we're using.
Fine then, 15 out of 10.
That's
One second.
then it doesn't work that way.
There we go. Perfect.
All right, let's get into our review. Putting 5 minutes on the clock.
Okay.
No spoilers.
Okay.
So some things that I really liked about it. The relatability. It's top. You know from the previews that it's a family of superheroes, and it's great. It's just
When
so-
the parents start arguing, you're like, oh my gosh, that's my parents in the
and then,
kitchen.
and then the kids
The kids
going through
chiming in.
adolescence. It's great. It's great.
Yes.
So enjoyable.
Yes.
Another one, it's familiar. It looks exactly like the first one. The
Better, actually.
All right. There's new stuff.
There's new-
There's new gadgets. There's new tools. There's a new plot. There's a new story.
Yeah.
There's also the same characters, but
There are
there's
some
new
definitely familiar beats in this film. That's fun. That are really fun.
yeah, like dubstep.
When was there dubstep?
You said beats, and
But there's no actual dubstep in the
we
movie.
said there were some familiar beats, and
You're stuck on the Lego 2 commercial.
I vouch for Jimmy. That was a good point.
thank you. You can be in this part. None others though. Just that. part.
I don't agree with that.
The other thing that I liked about this, without spoiling anything, is that it starts off right where it left off, which is awesome because the first one left on a huge cliffhanger. Like, oh my goodness, Thunderminer's gonna destroy the world with his giant machine that he has.
No, it didn't. It was not a massive cliffhanger.
What?
That was not a massive cliffhanger.
What?
He had 2 metal hands, and he was an obese little man. The family of superheroes were going to take him out like that.
Okay, we're into spoilers. He beat them.
No, he didn't.
He beat them.
He got away. Is not the same as beating him.
He definitely
beat
beat them.
Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
Because
He
Mr.
outmaneuvered them
Incredible
all.
was going old-fashioned, and then he got sucked into the tube.
He beat them, okay? Metal Claws, whatever.
Whatever.
He
I guarantee you he's not going to
he
be the third one.
won to up them. He better be. Oh my goodness, he better be.
It'll be the opening thing is them tracking him down.
All right.
Why wasn't he the in-tag villain at the end of this movie too?
That
Wouldn't that have been fantastic?
that would've been
Little
funny.
like.
Okay.
14 years.
14 years.
Hey, they start with the Underminer, and he beats them all. He whips their butts, okay, and then creams them with
No. His machine maybe. They had a hard time stopping his massive drill, but he didn't. He just got away with
He
his money.
bakes them like a cake and then finishes them with frosting.
Fine, would agree to disagree.
Anyway, after that, he gets away, and we don't see him ever again.
Yeah, so
I demand closure.
and that's why they're going to take another 14 years to make the third one.
Anyway. That's basically the only bone I have to pick with this movie. You got anything else?
Bones to pick with this movie.
Well, it can be something you like.
No, we thought we were about Bone. I didn't care. I was never emotionally invested in the Underminer. Clearly, I didn't care. I didn't think that was a big deal. I played the video game they made, where you fought the Underminer, as a kid. So, I had closure. I beat the Underminer. I actually defeated him using Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well,
but
they could have made the storyline. I don't care. Okay, like it could have.
Sounds like you care.
It's a loose end. It's just messy.
I still think they should have made him in the intag. That would have been fantastic.
No.
Although the intag is wonderful. Okay, so we are in spoilers.
Yes.
Okay, things I liked. It opens with Tony Reidinger. The boyfriend, Violet's date. That whole subplot is hysterical. It opens with Tony basically gets his mind wiped because he ends up seeing Violet in her costume and recognizes her. Mm-hmm. And then Violet gets completely wiped out of his mind. Where he doesn't remember her at all, so they had scheduled a date. He doesn't show up. Violet's like angry at this, and one of the best shots ever. She's so sad. Mr. Incredible's on the phone trying to tell Mrs. Incredible that everything's fine, and she comes in and she's invisible because she's upset, but she's not wearing her suit, so you can still see her clothes. And she waddles over to the fridge, opens up the freezer, grabs the ice cream and a spoon, a gigantic spoon, and goes back upstairs, and she's crying. It's just, which sounds wrong when you say it like that out of context, but it is extremely funny. I like that
monkey.
story. And then when they go to the restaurant where he works at, and she doesn't know, and then she sees him, and she takes a sip of water, sees him, and instead of spitting it out, she like chokes, and it comes streaming out her nose on this, right on the table. They're like, oh, oh. Honestly, I enjoyed that much stuff too. The other thing I enjoyed, I did not know that I wanted to see Jack fight a raccoon. But now that I know that I want that, I need that raccoon in the next movie. Incredibles 3, I don't give a crap about the Underminer, but that raccoon better be back for Jack to fight. I hope he gets mutated and he grows and they become rivals later in life. Yes.
I'll go after this question. I just want Jimmy's cinematic skills rated.
No!
I want Jimmy to with his knowledge of cinema now and all that stuff. I want him to rate the scene where the raccoon is all tangled in the
The lawn chair.
and then Jack just sits there, looks at the raccoon, and
Versus just like.
I felt like that was one of the best cinema scenes in history.
That's 10 out of 10 filmmaking.
I don't understand how the raccoon got out of the chair though.
Well,
Well, they're not gonna kill an
the
animal.
Lord works in mysterious
Use
ways
ways
when
is-
you're terrified.
Okay, here's something I do have a bone to pick with the movie, and I know in this room I'm probably alone, and it's not a huge bone. I enjoyed this, but holy crap, how many powers does Jack have?
Yeah.
And I need some rules on these powers and some limitations, because it's funny, but about the 17th power, you're like, where is this going? What can he not do? You know?
Yeah,
It's just-
well,
but it's hilarious.
Sidebar.
it doesn't bother me. It does stress me out though. Okay, that baby stresses me out.
Sidebar. They actually do explain that in the movie. You just gotta watch it the second time and pay attention.
What do they say?
Edna explains it.
Yes.
Sir,
So
sir,
she said,
sir, remove yourself from my frame. Sir, sir.
You said
Yo.
sidebar.
I did say sidebar. Therefore, it's okay.
And
But-
explain what?
She said there's actually a type known as like poly super or something like that, to where there's supers that have multiple powers. And she also said that it's not unusual for babies to have multiple powers, but because Jack, she found out that he is a poly super and a baby, he's able to have so many powers at such a wide variety.
Right. Well, I got that from the movie that he had just had multiple powers because the writers ultimately wanted him to have multiple powers. My question is, when he grows up, is he going to lose any of those powers, or is he just going to have that many crazy powers? Because
I would not mind seeing a teenage Jack kick butt and
Oh
name with
my
many
gosh.
with that many powers.
can you imagine? I don't know if Jack would work if he's not a baby. Do you see a version of Jack that's not baby form?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway,
Yeah, that's my big one.
we've basically only talked about negative stuff up to this point, but there's so much more that's positive. Like for instance, the motorcycle scene. I think we agreed it's definitely gonna give Mission Impossible a run for its money.
Tom Cruise probably couldn't sleep after watching it. To be perfectly honest, he probably couldn't.
So good. It's Elastigirl on the Elastabike.
Stop.
And
Go to sleep.
this thing's tricked out to where she can press a button and it splits in two so she can stretch and stuff. And she's just kind of the BA on that sucker.
Sorry, 1 second. So we don't have to fight this guy again. Oh, he got me. There we go.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyway,
Holla.
but yeah, and I think we both agreed our favorite part is where she ramps off the building and she's falling for a good while and then lands perfectly on this edge that's only this wide and then rides on it. And you know it's not possible even with these powers, but you totally buy it. I
Well,
think is what we said.
The thing is, like, it's done in such a way to where it could technically be possible.
Right.
Like, it's not unbelievable, which makes it impressive. But, you know, like,
Yeah.
she's a good 5 stories in the air. Okay, so
Yeah.
who's gonna do that?
Right. It's just, for me as a comic book fan, it is so much fun to watch that sequence because it's such a creative use of her powers. Her parachuting with the motorcycle to slow her down, her using it to like throw herself on the elastic side. That moment where they're about to hit that tunnel and she splits and then she's like right on with one tire on one edge of the tunnel, one tire on the other edge of the tunnel. Like that was just really cool. It was for this movie. It's kind of like that scene with Dash from the first one. That's incredible. When he finds out he can run on water, that whole sequence where he's running from the planes and he runs on water, and then it's just that was this sequence. That was the big chase sequence for this one,
Yeah.
and it was great.
And there's a bunch of other good moments. Like I loved, even though it can kind of be argued that it's a move for feminism and stuff, where Elastigirl is sort of the main good guy. She goes off to work for this company, like Mr. Incredible went off to work for the company in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it that Mr. Incredible, he gets to stay home and be Mr. Mom, which is kind of great. And you see a change in him.
Yeah.
He has to adjust, and so just as far as the movie goes, that's really good. But it's also very entertaining the way, you see in the preview, math is math.
Math is math.
Why would they change math?
Yeah, he does have a good character moment, and for me, it did kind of like it is pretty like there's definitely a more shift. There's more focus on the female characters in this movie, which I did enjoy. I enjoyed them. There was a lot of Violet stuff, which I did enjoy, and the Elastigirl stuff was pretty cool too.
Oh my goodness, Violet!
But Violet is so fun in this movie.
She it's just because she's going through adolescence. Okay, so her.
I renounce superheroes.
Yeah, like we said before, her the boy she was gonna go out on the date with,
Tony
in the first one. Well, he sees her in her super suit without her mask on, so he knows who she is, and she tells her parents, and her parents tell the the government guy,
the guy,
yeah,
the program guy,
yeah, and so he tracks down Tony and
wipes
his
his
memory. And side effect of that, he doesn't remember Violet at all. So Violet finds out that the reason he doesn't remember her is because her parents told what's his name?
Yeah, Dicker. Yeah, the program guy. Yeah.
So she starts throwing a fit. She gets her suit, her indestructible suit, throws it in the garbage disposal. Says, "I renounce this family." Throws it in the garbage disposal and presses the button, and it's flailing all over the place. And of course, nothing happens because it's indestructible.
Yeah.
And she just screams frustratedly and runs away, and the whole family's just standing there like. And then Dash is like, he's got a mouthful of spaghetti. He's like, "Is she going through adolescence?"
Oh yeah.
So good.
The villain in this movie's good. It's not Syndrome, but she's pretty cool. Or yeah.
Yeah.
And we're spoilers, so I could say it. She's pretty cool. She's an interesting villain.
Yeah, it was sort of kind of a good twist, except you saw it coming.
You do see the twist coming with her.
I mean, it's from the beginning basically that the true villain, is going to be one of two people.
Yeah.
Either the brother or the sister who hired Elastigirl to do hero work. So it's not a shock at all when you find out that she's the villain. But the way they set it up it was good.
It was good. It was good. And for me, one more negative, not necessarily negative. For me, anytime we get to the whole Elastigirl and bringing heroes back into the light, that's when the movie kind of drags for me. Like, it's important information, but that's when it's like, oh, like it starts. You can just feel the momentum just slow. Like you just come off of a funny Jack, Mr. Incredible trying to figure out what's going on at home scene, and then it just kind of slows. But then she usually there's an action scene with Mrs. Incredible, and that's when it picks up again. But there are multiple scenes in the movie where that happens, and it just kind of drags a little bit. And you don't really feel that with the first one. The first one is pretty smooth, but it's a good movie. I really enjoyed it. One of the better movies I've seen this summer. I walked out of there smiling.
Yeah, it was great. I don't know for sure. And I don't know that it was better than the first one, but it was. I enjoyed it Just about the same.
Yeah. I don't think it's better than the first one. I think the first one is better, but I definitely enjoyed it. It is fun.
It wasn't like a Zoolander 2 sequel.
No, it definitely doesn't suck. For those of you who didn't understand.
Sucks.
Yeah,
It
that's
sucks.
Zoolander 2 sucks hard. But this one's very well done and very well made, and it makes you go, please make an Incredibles 3. Definitely.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and don't take 14 years to do it.
Please.
Please no.
I might not live that long.
Good. Yeah.
I don't know how to end this. How are we gonna end this? I'm gonna make
Movie
shadow
review.
art with my face. On my face.
I'm AJ.
I'm Jimmy.
That you suck. All right.
I forgot to bring lights, so we're using a lamp.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes for you.
Yeah, be careful with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the lamp Mrs. Douglas always like. Don't break that.
We're way over time. Goodbye. Ciao.
Till the next movie.
Were we out of focus the entire time?
Probably.
I forgot to put this back on autofocus.